So the Rams just lost by 3 points to the Bengals, and that's what we're going to be talking about in this instant reaction to the Rams vs. Bengals game in this video. Let's get into it. All right, guys, so this was just a completely sloppy game on pretty much all ends. Honestly, the defense played very well. The second half kind of just continuing the trend of the Rams not being able to play both halves well. They played absolutely locked down in the first half, holding the Bengals to 2 field goals. Now, Evan McPherson did miss one, but it was about 56 yards. So that's a, understandable miss from him. But basically, Rams played very well. And then second half, pretty much the Bengals were in the driver's seat because the Rams offense couldn't do anything. Now, I have a lot to say about Sean McVay, and I'm going to be making a video on that later this week. But what I kind of want to go over just in this video is I don't want to harp on Sean McVay too much because I'm already going to get him a little bit later this week. But, Matthew Stafford can't have 2 picks in a game. Now, that second pick that he had was pretty, just unlucky with the bounce that it had, just going straight into a Bengals player's arms, not even having to make a play, literally just being gifted a football on your chest. You're going to get that pick every time. So that makes sense. Or, that one is a little bit more excusable. The first one, pretty inexcusable to me. Stafford has 2 picks this game. We lose by 3. Stafford, has 2 picks last game against 49ers. We lose. We have to start limiting these turnovers. We're literally just shooting ourselves in the foot. But in the first half, we played very well even on offense. Now, I think that Tutu Atwell, that Tutu Atwell touchdown at the beginning, rushing touchdown, should have stood. But, it didn't. So that's where we are. This whole game is we should have got this bounce. Oh, we should have got this penalty called. But at the end of the day, we didn't even play to our fullest extent. So I can't even be like, we got robbed, because the Rams just didn't play well. And a lot of that's on Sean McVay and his play calling. But again, like I said, I don't want to harp on him too much. So Matthew Stafford, 1 touchdown, 265 yards. Let's go over these stats. 8.2 yards, average. And the offensive line could not do anything to help him out. His rating was a 66. He got sacked 6 times and he was pressured probably over 10. A touchdown and 2 interceptions. Not going to do it. Now, Joe Burrow obviously hurt. He played pretty solid. I'm not going to be here to harp on Joe Burrow. I think he played well. But 259 yards, 5.3 yard average. He threw 50 times, which is insane. Aaron Donald was taking off some plays a little bit later in the game. It seems like he got kind of roughed up on one of the plays, so he was able to take advantage there. And Jamar Chase finally had his breakout game this year, but still 0 TDs for him, 1 interception. Got sacked twice, I believe, both by Aaron Donald. I don't know if they gave it to him. Yeah, they only gave him, never mind, 1 to Aaron Donald. Another half to Byron Young, and Kobe Turner as well, a half. So got to him twice, and I would have liked that, but we got sacked 6 times, so it is what it is. They gave Joe Mixon 19 carries for 65 yards and a touchdown. That's what you should be doing. This is going to be a major thing for us. I can't believe that Kyren Williams only ran the ball 10 times. Literally, the Bengals had the second worst run defense in the entire league, and we decided to only run the ball 10 times with Kyren Williams. If we ran the ball earlier in the game, we could have dictated the pace, but we decided to just pass the ball the entire game while Matthew Stafford's getting absolutely obliterated. Now, I get in the second half that we need to start passing the ball because we're behind once we went down a touchdown and then 10 points. But still, we need to be running literally in that first half, or else we're not going to be able to pass, just like tonight we weren't able to pass well. So Kyren Williams, I think he played very well. You can't really get in a rhythm with just 10 carries and being very sporadic. So I think he played well with that, and then also his 2 receptions for 27 yards, and then 1 also got called back. So I have him on my fantasy team. I'm not too mad at him today. He won me my game, barely, kind of gave me a heart attack, but he ended up winning me my game. And in terms of the receivers, I thought Tutu Atwell played well, but he had 5 targets that he did drop. And then Puka Nacua, I think, played even better with 5 receptions with 72 yards in that, final, I believe 37-yard gain at the end of the game. That was a very big, maybe we have some life, but obviously just not enough time to come back there being down 10 points. But Tyler Higbee also made a bunch of great plays, caught all 5 of his targets and 5 receptions. I think on the receivers, it's not really on them. It's our offensive line, and also Alaric Jackson going down at the start of the game didn't help the Rams out either. But in terms of defense, Ernest Jones had a tackle for loss. Aaron Donald had 2 tackles for loss and a sack. I thought Aaron Donald played very well today, and I expected him to because of the offensive line of the Bengals. We finally got our first interception, that being Akella Witherspoon with an amazing acrobatic catch that he did have. Now Logan Wilson got both interceptions against Matthew Stafford. Honestly, I wasn't really sure about that first one. I thought that touched the ground, but just losing the turnover battle is gonna lose us games, and that's what we have to work on. Glad we ended up getting on the board there, though. Michael Hoyt got a tackle for loss, so I want to kind of note him, but pass deflections from Darion Kendrick. He got beat by Jamar Chase early in the game, and then the next play, locked up T. Higgins. So excited to see him playing a little bit better this week, but at the end of the day, everything was not up to par this week. Brett Maher, our special teams actually played pretty well. Brett Maher, 3 field goals, 1 extra point. But we do need to play better than this. And basically, kind of what I want to sum up this game. Sean McVay, I'll say this for everyone who got to the end of this video. Sean McVay needs to not take so many chances. Passing the ball as much as he did is a major bet and a risk that he wanted to take as a head coach, and it's an idiotic thing to do. I'm sure they're game planning for trying to stop the run because they've been so bad at it, but you have to give Kyren Williams more than 10 carries in a game, and you have to try to dictate pace, especially on a team that hasn't proven that they can stop the run. And you basically went, hey, you're okay at pass defense, you're terrible at run defense, but you probably expected that, so let me go really heavy on our passing game plan today. And it just doesn't work out when Matthew Stafford has 2 interceptions and his line is not helping him out. Now, maybe you think that Alaric Jackson isn't going to be able to run block as well, but no matter what, we're going to have a problem with Alaric Jackson out, with our backup left tackle coming in. So you have to do better than that, Sean McVay. I think a lot of this is on him. I hope he takes responsibility. Matthew Stafford gets, a few to not go his way with the interceptions again. I don't think this is terrible for the Rams. I don't think we're going to, just lose out now. And we actually have a winnable game next week. Hopefully go 2-0 going into the Eagles game. But there's definitely a lot we need to work on, and Sean McVay needs to get in his bag a little bit more. But it's pretty much going to be all I have to say about this Rams Bengals game. Not too much to say, just 1-2. Hopefully go 2-2 next week and have a good game against the Eagles week 5, and hopefully don't start out 1-4. 3-2 would be much better, but 2-3 would be okay in my book, considering we're at the hardest part of our schedule. But that's pretty much going to be it. Make sure you guys leave a like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.